At 347 Don Shula Drive, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Open man, it's Preston Williams. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Miami. 49 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Well, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Running with Howard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The first down run with Bell as he'll get about 6 there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold caught here by Griffin. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. In for the score as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Darnold. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
to the ground, this time with Bell. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Now Darnold. He sets to fire deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, it's Bell. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. He's got this one complete to Perriman. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Right there in the middle, 55.
Throwing on second down. Darnold. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Ficken's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, When you're trying to throw inside route,